Welcome to the channel. If you're preparing for your TEAS exams and you need help with the anatomy and physiology, biology, the science portion of it, this video is for you. A quick review of high-yield facts regarding the anatomy and physiology, things that you forget easily. I'll give you a memorable information that you will never forget. When you see exams, you'll be able to answer correctly. And some key facts on test-taking strategy, how to answer the question, even without not knowing the context. This is strategy. Stick around. Let's get to it. So the first portion of the question, as you can see, does look intimidating. Forget about it. Look at the question and what is asking. The phases of mitosis in order. Which of the following are correct? List of the phases of mitosis. You have to understand that mitosis is the division of a cell. If you have a cell, I'm trying to do a replicate of the same thing, right? Whatever this contain is going to contain the same thing. There's a pathway for the mitosis to undergo that process. There's a pathway mitosis should follow to make or give you that replicate of itself, the cell. What is the key? The buzzword is IPMAT. That is the acronym. The I is interface, the P is the prophase, M is the metaphase, A is the anaphase, and the T is the telophase. In another video, I will give you what each of them means because they are key concepts you have to understand. Now, let's look at it. In order to answer this kind of other question, make sure you follow the strategy. If you're going to start with the interface, look if you have interface here. Okay, I have interface. As you see prophase, I see anaphase. Therefore, I eliminate this. I'm not going to even worry about it. There's no interface, so I got to look for prophase. There's two prophase here, so one of them may be right. Followed by metaphase. This follow telophase, and this is metaphase. They start with what? Metaphase, which is wrong. He has to start with what? Prophase. But even if you start with metaphase, prophase should come before metaphase. Therefore, this is gone. And then you know that number 2 is the right answer. Prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. This is mitosis, key concept. This is the way you should approach these kind of questions. Reading from the back, from the lungs to the heart, which blood vessels carries oxygen blood? Most veins will carry deoxygenated blood, and arteries carry oxygenated blood, right? Veins, blood is a little bit darker, but there's only one vein that most of it look like an artery, and the vein, even though it's a vein, it carries oxygenated blood, and that is the pulmonary vein. And this is the way it looks like. This is your lung. Blood from your heart go to the lungs using pulmonary artery, and it come back with the pulmonary vein. So the pulmonary artery carry deoxygenated blood. This is actually oxygenated. It has to be pulmonary vein. Next question, the powerhouse of the cell. These are buzzwords when you know you are associated with something. That is the way to study the keys and the TEAS, anatomy and physiology. You hear the buzzword, looking for one word. Powerhouse of the cell, what organelle is known as that? That means it produces energy. Ribosome make protein. DNA and the nucleus contain the DNA. Mitochondria make energy, ATP, and the plastic reticulum produce protein. Therefore, 3 is the powerhouse. Straightforward, right? Primary purpose of what? Mitosis. We already talked about it. What is the primary purpose? Is to give you replicate of the same cell, the same content, whatever is in the other cell is not half of it, but the same. It does not produce gamete. Meiosis is what produces gamete. Therefore, that is gone. It creates genetically unique cells. It's not unique. It's the same as the parent. To produce 2 identical daughter cells, the 2 cells are identical to each other. To reduce chromosome number by half, it does not cut it into half. You have the same number of chromosome. Therefore, number 3 is your right answer. As the majority of nutrient absorption occur in the digestive system, make sure these are all digestive portion of the digestive system. Stomach is part of it. Large intestine is part of it. Duodenum is part of it. The ileum is part of it. Then start thinking about it. Your stomach food is still being digested. It cannot be absorbed. On the large intestine, this is where you have a lot of stool and water. So you can absorb food from a stool, right? Now you're left with this. This is our portion of the small intestine. But the place where you absorb most of it is the ileum. The duodenum is the beginning of it. Therefore, 4 is the right answer. Chromosome line up in the middle of the cell. Which stage of mitosis occur? We talk about it, and I told you mitosis is ipmat. The I is interphase. This is where you prepare. The P is the prophase, where the chromatin condensed. The M is when the chromatin line up in the middle. The A is when they separate. And the T when you form nuclei, memory form around everything. Therefore, lining up in the middle is metaphase. M as middle, metaphase. You see, you got it? So M is in the middle, so we go to metaphase. Which part of the immune system is responsible for producing antibodies? Antibodies are basically the soldiers that we make to fight infection in the future. The natural killer cells, they kill you right away. They don't need it to make antibody. Macrophages engulf you. They destroy you right away. T cells don't make antibody. The B is the bodies. B cells. They are responsible for making antibodies. So B cells are responsible for making antibodies. I'm showing you strategy to answer questions so that at the same time giving you content. Which of the following is a function of the enzyme? Enzyme is something that speeds up or catalyze information. They don't store energy. They don't have ATP. They don't break down DNA. They are not lysosomes. They speed up the reaction to make it go fast. So enzymatic reaction catalyze the reaction. They don't destroy harmful bacteria. The answer is 3 speed up reactions. Number 9, the type of bond. What type of bond are held by the strands of DNA? DNA is a nucleic acid component, right? And it held in place by nitrogen and other compounds. The only place this can be held that strong is if it has hydrogen bond. It's not a covalent, it's not ionic, it's not peptide, it's hydrogen bond. Even though it looks covalent, it's mostly hydrogen bond holding the strands of the DNA together. And the last question, which macromolecule is made up of amino acid? You know that macromolecules have constituents. Carbohydrates is made up of sugar. Lipids are fats, right? Protein are made up of amino acid. Nucleic acid are a portion of the DNA, but they're made up of different nucleotides. Therefore, amino acids, protein constituent. This is a test-taking strategy, content mastering to help you pass your TEAS. If you like it, follow the series. I have a playlist that has all these videos in it. If you like it, subscribe to Adapt and share with your friends. Good luck in your exams.